Hello Gary, we've got the transmission out of your 2003 Dodge. This is what it looks like when it's all apart. I'll go over some things we found with you on the inside of the transmission, and Eric or Amanda will contact you with the different cost estimates. If we look at the pan here, you can see all the metal that we found inside the pan, so that's obviously why we were recommending having a look inside the transmission, because that's obviously not normal. That material came from this washer is all chewed up, and this washer is going to be situated against that washer on the sun shell there, and so the metal is going to be the material that's missing from here and the material that's missing from there. That's generally going to be caused from thrust, like heavy loads often, so we're obviously going to be putting a new washer here and a new washer there. It's something that if you, as you're going up a hill, if you're loaded, if you take your foot off the gas for a split second and then step back on, what will happen is the helical cut of the gears will allow the parts to separate like that, and so oil can get back inside there. So that method sometimes will help stave off this type of a failure. As far as the clutches are concerned, they looked okay. This is our overdrive direct clutch. If you look at the steel plate here, you can see that it is a nice uniform color, and the same thing on our friction plate. This is our front clutch here. It comes on for third and reverse, and it hasn't been slipping either, so you can see the uniform color there, uniform color on the clutch. When we're doing a recondition, all of these paper elements, so all of these frictions get changed with new. This is the low reverse band. It hasn't been slipping either. It looks fine. The intermediate band comes on for second gear. It's wearing, but it's not terrible. That brown material will wear away, and then you lose second gear, but this isn't anywhere near that. But this material, this lining, we would normally replace with the updated style. Back to this. I forgot this on the overdrive clutch, overdrive direct clutch. This snap ring here, this end here should be attached to there, so it's quite common for it to break. On a recondition, we put a new one in anyway, so that's something that didn't really cause anything, but it's obviously worth noting. This is the overdrive clutch, comes on for fourth gear. Same situation, no slippage here. This is our forward clutch, or our rear clutch. It comes on for all the forward gears. Same thing, it hasn't been slipping either. When we look at a pump, this is your pump, these are your pump gears here. We've got to clean it up and measure it, but it looks to be okay. That's the stator which goes onto the pump. We seal up these circuits here. It looks fine. Our low drum, that's where the low reverse band rides, and it looks fine as well. So when we go to the valve body, camera may be tough to pick it up, but where that ball is, if I move this rooster comb, you can see that the valve body is worn. So what's happening is that ball is moving back and forth in the bore, and that can hold our manual valve into the wrong position. So we're going to have to address that wear. Hasn't caused anything on yours yet, but as it continues to wear, what can happen is this manual valve can be held out of position. So the recondition, we're going to put a new manual valve here. Our pressure regulator valve, we're going to put an updated valve there. Our solenoid switch valve, we're going to put an updated valve there as well. There's going to be some hole changes in the separator plate, and that's to increase durability and drivability. This is our governor solenoid here, and that's our pressure transducer. It's quite common for these to go bad, so we're going to replace it with a new style, which is actually a little bit larger in diameter than that. It's about 15% stronger magnet inside of it, so it actually works better. So pressure transducer here and the governor solenoid will be new as well. So that's about what we found inside. The torque converter also gets changed with the remanufactured unit on the recondition estimate as well. One other thing, this This is their range sensor. It sits in the side of the transmission, and what happens is inside here the oil starts to leak through here and then come out of the connector. So if you look at the connector, you can see how it's wet, and that's going to be transmission oil leaking out of there. So we're going to put a new range sensor on for that reason. It's not that it caused anything yet, but oil's been wicking through here and out of this connector here. So if we don't, the connector can be compromised, and we can get some false codes and things like that we want to avoid that by replacing the sensor. So as I said, Eric or Amanda will contact you with cost estimates, but that's roughly what we found inside. Thanks.